1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news is read by Humayun Zeba Basi. First, the headlines. Prime Minister, while addressing Punjab Education Convention Lahore today, stressed on the need to focus on education system to compete with the modern world. Pakistan and Tajikistan have agreed to adopt a cohesive approach in achieving common goals of peace and prosperity in Afghanistan. 141 deaths and 4,199 fresh positive cases of coronavirus have been reported in country in a single day. Pakistan has termed Human Rights Watch report regarding Media Development Authority as misleading and fabricated. In Indian legally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, All Party Hurriyat Conference strongly condemns the incessant incidents of fake encounters carried out by Indian occupational forces across the held territory. UNICEF has warned that 10 million children in Afghanistan are in desperate need of humanitarian assistance. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has stressed on the need to discard the obsolete class system and focus on education system. Addressing Punjab Education Convention 2021 in Lahore today, he said that poor education system is the main reason due to which we cannot compete with the world. Imran Khan said that single curriculum system is imperative to remove class system. He lauded the performance of present government on this initiative. The Prime Minister regretted that previous rulers did not pay attention on good governance and e-governance is important to remove corruption from system. He said that technology is changing rapidly and we have to enlighten our children about modern technology. He said besides quality education, we have to focus on training of our children. Prime Minister Imran Khan has said the Ravi River Urban Project, besides environmental benefits, is expected to generate $40 billion revenue for the country. He said this is at the launch of the country's first ever smart forest near Sheikhupura under the Ravi Urban Project. The Prime Minister said the project would stop the sewage water seep into Punjab's River Ravi, which ultimately flows up to the river and is passing through Sindh. He stressed the need for planting trees to ensure a safe future for coming generations. He said modern cities should be established to address the environmental issues. He said mere 640 million trees were planted across the country since independence till 2013, while the PTI government planted 1 billion trees in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa along during its last tenure. Imran Khan said now the government aims to plant 10 billion trees across the country. He said 10 billion trees will be planted in Rakchok forest in Sheikhupura. Tajikistan has agreed to the proposal of Pakistan to adopt a cohesive approach in achieving the common goals of peace and prosperity in Afghanistan. The development came as Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi held a meeting with Tajik President Emomali Rahman on the current situation in Afghanistan in Dushanbe today. Tajik President welcomed Foreign Minister and concurred on a coordinated approach on the evolving situation in Afghanistan. On regional security, the Foreign Minister shared Pakistan's perspective on the latest situation in Afghanistan. Earlier, Shah Mahmood Qureshi and his Tajik counterpart, Sirajuddin Muruddin, during a meeting reviewed the last developments in Afghanistan. Shah Mahmood Qureshi apprised his Tajik counterpart of Pakistan's policy to support an inclusive political solution in Afghanistan and expressed hope that Afghan leaders would achieve a workable solution. Sirajuddin Muruddin appreciated Pakistan's initiative to reach out to neighbors of Afghanistan for a coordinated approach. During the meeting, the two foreign ministers welcomed the frequent high-level interaction which had led to further strengthening of bilateral relations of community of views on matters of mutual interest. Both the foreign minister reviewed the latest developments in Afghanistan and agreed to remain in close contact. Pakistan and Uzbekistan have agreed that in a view of recent frequent high-level exchanges, bilateral relations have transformed into a strategic partnership. This was agreed during a meeting between Foreign Minister Makhdoom Shah Mahmood Qureshi and Foreign Minister of Uzbekistan Abdulaziz Kamilov in Tashkent. It was decided to follow up closely the implementation of decisions taken during the recent visit of Prime Minister Imran Khan to Uzbekistan. During the meeting, regional security situation, particularly the evolving situation in Afghanistan, came under discussion. Coronavirus has claimed 141 more lives, touching the highest tally of deaths in a day in the country during the last 4 months. According to the latest update issued by National Command and Operations Center, 4,199 more people were tested positive and 3,915 people recovered from the disease. Most of the deaths were occurred in Sindh, followed by Punjab. Out of the total 141 deaths occurred, 59 of them were on ventilators. The national COVID positivity ratio remains 6.83%. This is Radio Pakistan. Continuing the news, Pakistan has termed Human Rights Watch report regarding Media Development Authority as misleading and fabricated. A statement issued by the External Publicity Wing of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting regretted that the US-based body did not bother to check factual position from the concerned government office. According to the statement, presently there are half dozen outdated laws to regulate the media, which do not match with the modern day requirement. Therefore, in the public interest, like other countries, Pakistan needs to introduce holistic policy responses to cope with the challenges of fake news, disinformation, hate speech and copyright violations. The statement reads that Pakistan Media Development Authority is under consideration to address the challenges and to make Pakistan a major global center for multimedia information and content services. Pakistan, Kazakhstan joint military exercise Dostiaram 3 commenced at National Counter-Terrorism Center, Pabi today. The exercise is aimed at developing and bolstering coordination between the two armies in counter-terrorism domain. Special forces of both countries will take part in hostage rescue, compound clearance, heli-rappelling and close quarters battle drills and procedures. The exercise will focus on integrated synergy, interoperability, quick decision-making and swift actions at tactical level. The joint exercise is being held as part of the biennial exercise mechanism between the two armies. The first joint exercise was held in 2017 in Pakistan and second in 2019 in Kazakhstan. In Indian legally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All-Parties Hurriyat Conference has strongly condemned the incessant incidents of fake encounters being carried out by Indian occupational forces in every nook and corner of the territory. According to Kashmir Media Service, the APHC spokesman in a statement issued in Srinagar said the Modi-led Indian fascist regime is pursuing the imperialistic policy to kill the Kashmiri one by one in fake encounters to convert the Muslim majority Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir into a complete Hindu state. UNICEF has warned the 10 million children in Afghanistan are in desperate need of humanitarian assistance, urging $200 million in food aid immediately to save the lives of children. Executive Director of World Food Programme, David Bosley, said in a statement that one-third of the Afghan population face food insecurity because of several years of drought, conflict and economic deterioration, compounded by COVID. Meanwhile, the US and its Western allies are stepping up evacuation efforts after US President Biden stuck to an August 31 deadline to withdraw troops from Afghanistan. China has warned Japan to stop interfering in its internal affairs regarding Taiwan's matter. China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Weibin, in a statement in Beijing today, was responding to media reports that Japan and Taiwan's ruling parties will hold security talks on Friday. In West Venezuela, 15 people have been killed due to heavy rains and landslide. Most of fatalities occurred in the town of Towa, where the Macotes River must its bank after hours in rainfall. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot and humid weather expected in most plain areas of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain, wind, thunder shower expected is an isolated place in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Pothohar region, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir. Now once again, we'll look into the headlines. Prime Minister, while addressing Punjab Education Convention Lahore today, stressed on the need to focus on education system to compete with the modern world. Pakistan and Tajikistan have agreed to adopt a cohesive approach in achieving common goals of peace and prosperity in Afghanistan. 141 deaths and 4,199 fresh positive cases of coronavirus have been reported in the country in a single day. Pakistan has termed Human Rights Watch report regarding Media Development Authority as misleading and fabricated. In Indian legally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, All-Parties Hurriyat Conference strongly condemns the incessant incidents of fake encounters carried out by Indian occupational forces across the held territory. UNICEF has warned that 10 million children in Afghanistan are in desperate need of humanitarian assistance. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, you can always log on to our website radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch our live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.